Well, I thought Jalen really played hard, maybe as hard as I've seen him play, trying to work on both ends. And he's a guy that's a problem for teams. But I thought Jalen really gave us a lot there. I think he should have got the ball more, and because he's not selfish, he'll make the right play out of it. Our guard play wasn't very good, but don't want to take anything away from Syracuse. They won the game, and I really am happy for Coach Autry. He's a wonderful person, class guy, got a tough job. Any job today is tough, but I'm just a fan of his, and give them all the credit. I'm sure he's like me, know that we both got to get a whole lot better, but the fact is they did what they had to do to win the game, and they deserve to win it.
Coach, with 9 seconds left on the clock, what was the plan for your offensive score to try to take the lead?
We were going to get Jacoby driving the ball, and we had Felix in position to possibly rebound it, or the play we thought would happen where we got the ball right there in the middle to Jalen, and he got a good look at it. Didn't go in, but we thought we'd have the board covered that way. And but we had our chances. But again, we had so many chances early. Some of the turnovers we had were ridiculous, and some of our shot selection was ridiculous. And we can talk about the last minute, even the last play of the game. I was surprised that they'd had a chance to throw it up there, But again, give Syracuse all the credit for winning the game because they made the plays when they had to. We didn't.
You've seen Syracuse a lot over the last few years. I'm curious about what your take is on their defense this year.
Who's that?
Syracuse.
I think that's a major incident. They're the best defensive team since we've been playing the last couple of years. We've kind of run into them a couple of times in tournaments, and he's got some young guys, but they play hard and they put the pieces together, and we're still early December, and they continue the pattern. And again, understand they just played 3 of the toughest teams in Vegas that you could play. That was a gauntlet, and for them to again, I'm sure people looking at that and thinking what, but again, I think this is a testament to Coach Autry and his staff and his players to come back from that with not a win and what they did tonight. And again, they deserve to win this game. They did. I thought they played harder, competed harder, did all the things that they needed to do to get a win.
Rick, were you expecting Nate Kings to go for 19 first half points? And then what was
No, we don't expect that from anybody. We don't expect that out of anybody. But it goes back to focus coming in. I said before the game, the Kansas game, the first 3 possessions of that game was the worst we've been all year, and it's just focus. Scouting report, guys not locked in, guys thinking about anything other than what they should be thinking about.
What was the adjustment in the second?
Well, just again, player scouting report. That's all we ask them to do. Coaches, like every coach in the country, coaching staff, you spend a lot of time in a film room preparing. You have a pretty good feel now with, if you want to look at analytics, you look at analytics and this and that. But there's just a focus and guys playing the role, doing the job they needed to do.
Rick, can you describe the impact William Kyle has on the game, especially at the rim on the defensive end?
I like anybody that is quote unquote an unsung hero, a guy that just makes basketball plays, knows who he is, and plays to his strengths. Again, I wish I had some guys that understood that. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do, and he does it for his team. Very unselfish.
What's Nate learning through this process?
A whole lot harder, and he's not going to be able to do the things that he did in high school. It's a process. We knew he'd go through it, but he's going to have to listen because we're telling him. But some of it he's going to have to go through the fire, and he's going to have to learn when to pick his spots, when not to. But he's also got to continue to understand the flow of the game. We love him to death, we do, and he works his tail off. But there's just so much of this game he still has to learn, and he's never been a quote unquote true perimeter player. He's learning to do that on both ends. But he's putting so much pressure on himself, and he doesn't need to do that. He's got good guys around him. They have great respect for him, and they know when they need to get him the ball where they need to get it. He's pressing. He's putting way too much pressure on himself.
When you have a game that had this many turnovers on both sides in that second half, is there a method you have to try and slow the game down a little bit for guys, or what do you do as a coach?
Well, sometimes when you slow it down, both coaches might think, hey, we're going to turn it over more. You know, I mean, you've got to do what you practice, and that's what's bothered me the last 2 games. We don't do what we practice. That's what bothers me, okay? But, yeah, sometimes I know people think that, but it's really hard to score if you're just going to totally settle into a half-court game. It really is, and so you still have to try to crack it and try to get something early, but if not, you know, you'd think, why wouldn't we come down every time and throw it to Jalen? But they're going to double team and do some other things, and but yeah, I mean, sometimes we just need to refund the money because that was some pretty bad basketball for a while on both ways.
Jacoby still learning like Nate, or is he too old?
He's learning how to run a team. He's never really been asked to do that at a high level, make the right plays, read what's going on. Like both he and Ethan, you know, we felt like we could get what we wanted when different ball screen actions, but it was there. When I looked at it at halftime, it was there every time, but they then tried to do something else to compound and make it harder. It didn't need to be any harder. And but that's, again, part of the learning process.
That's one here from Grant. You feel like you learned something with Dwayne and the Jalen combo tonight, or found something?
Well, we've seen it all summer. You know, they practice together, and we're just waiting on both of them to get where they need to be defensively. That's been the biggest key. I mean, there's no doubt. We know when they're on the floor, offensively, that's our best front line. Obviously, JP brings a whole different dynamic to our team, but still, Dwayne, the biggest mistake I'd made in Vegas was not giving him enough minutes, and tonight I think it's going to really bode well for him going forward.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you.